Is there anything that you can see by Facebook?
Pronoia is live on an online event. Yes, then you can go see it. Pronoia is live now.
That should be us.
Okay, so I don't know what is happening. We may or may not be live.
No, I think it's good.
Are we live or are we not live?
Well, I think we are. I mean, I will have my friends check on us. I hope they will see this.
So according to my sources, we're live on Steam and we are live on my personal Facebook, but we're not live on Pronoia for some reason that only God knows why.
No, that shouldn't be the way it is.
Well, I can see us on Facebook. It's not a recording.
Do you see
So
us?
yeah, we're there.
Yeah, we okay. Apparently something is happening and we may or may not be live. We are alive, I think, maybe.
Isn't it a bit late in the day for philosophy?
Okay. Guys, girls, let's do a hello there, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
This was a bit difficult to start this streaming, but it's okay. I will cut all of that in the edit, so we are good.
Yeah, but like the two like the okay. So the idea is hi, welcome to our stream. Our stream is called Imagine Utopias, and I'm Laura, and this is Maria and Ilana.
Hello.
Hi. And
Hello.
And basically, what we're doing is to uh, do the best that we can to provide everyone of you with opportunities to imagine utopias with us. And by utopias, we mean optimistic works of art that inspire you, if you are one of our fans, that inspire you to be hopeful and to think about better futures. So far, we published a comic book called The Lost Sunday, and that's a fairy tale inspired comic book about working too much or burnout by Ilana. Ilana, don't go! Oh, go get the book. And actually, before this book, we published a board game called Zestrea, which is a marriage negotiation board game inspired by crazy village traditions where you negotiate weddings between villagers. And that's kind of a covert utopia which sort of expresses a society where both rich and poor take care of each other. And then we, after we printed The Lost Sunday, we thought, okay, we want to make this book more available to everyone in the world, regardless of shipping and printing costs and stuff like that. So we made Lost Sunday Comics, which is a magical virtual comic book library available on Steam that you see right now on the screen. And we put the digital version of the Lost Sunday on Lost Sunday Comics. And you can read The Lost Sunday in English, French, German, and Swedish so far on Steam. And the thing is that we hope to fill the shelves of this virtual library with more books. So our fourth project is Treasure, Thoughts, and Trinkets, which is a brand new book by Ilana. And it's a silent comics collection of 24 stories that I think this is what we are starting the stream today with. So, yeah. Ilana, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you are a fan of us, you know that we have already printed this book, and now we want to print another one. And I will share my screen and show you a preview of what's inside, because I think it's really interesting, and I hope you will be as excited as I am to see it.
And now let's hope that the gods of technology are with us once again.
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is we changed the setup a bit because we sort of wanted to show you the game as well. And you should never change a setup that works, even if it's not the best setup in the world.
Yeah, and apparently you shouldn't test it either before you start, because by testing it, you will mess it up and it will not work when you really need it to work. So yeah.
But I have like a disclaimer here. The reason we changed the setup is because um, we wanted to stream on Steam as well, which I.
We're seeing that multi-stream chat right now, so I don't think that should be in the picture.
Oh, sorry
Maybe.
about that. Yay. Okay.
But I hope you're also seeing my screen with a beautiful illustration and very important information about our new book, hopefully. The name is Treasure, Thoughts and Trinkets. And we will launch a Kickstarter campaign on the 9th of May. And this is pretty special because it's not single story. In fact, we will have many stories.
24.
24 to be precise. And this illustration is the cover of the book. And it's a character which encapsulates, I think, very well the spirit of all the stories within the book. Whimsical, touch of humor, a lot of fantasy, a lot of magic, um, the soul of a child, but the mind of a philosopher, let's say, because every story has really surreal and absurd, but also poetic and really philosophical vibe to it. So if
I we can both attest to that, and I so first and foremost, I have always been a huge fan of Maria and Ilana, whose work is absolutely amazing, and I urge you to follow them everywhere you can. The Silent Comics is actually a long-term project, and it started because Ilana sometimes makes such great stories, and I see them and I fall in love with them, and I think that there was always a wish, to some extent, to bring those stories to life in some form. Um,
The fact was, there were stories conceived to be enjoyed by as many people as possible, which meant they were stories without words. And I think this was the initial goal, to tell a story in such a way in which it could be understood without the need of, let's say, a language.
And the thing is, the medium of comics allows you to really express a story just with images, and it will be understood. You don't really need a text, but that will be a different form of comics. So from the start, if you say you won't put the text in your comics, you will have a very different approach, and the result will be something that is very poetic and meant to be understood also with the eyes, with the mind, and with the soul.
And that I guess this brings us a little bit to the actual content that Ilana will show a few pages from now. And
Yes.
actually, it's very funny when we talk about these stories that we actually had quite a lot of conversations about how to order these stories and how to place them in the book. And it turns out that it's impossible not to. It's very difficult to choose a favorite, and it's also very interesting to see how favorite stories kind of merge and couple with somebody's personality, because my favorite story is not Maria's favorite story and it's not Ilana's favorite story, so I'm extremely curious.
Basically what we did is we assembled 3 different books, because depending on the order in which you place the stories, you get a different overall feeling, because you can sort of create like a travel guide. It's a travel guide through imagination, and it's in fact a very personal journey. So you will get a book, but never forget you can make your own travel plans.
What was in a way problematic, but in another way, I think is the strong point of this book, is that the styles of the stories are really different. So, for instance, you have this one, which is in pencil and colors and whimsical characters, and then you can have something with in watercolor, and everything is different, no lines, just colors and light and a lot of water. And then you can have something that is a bit of a mix. And also, this reflects in the subjects of the stories. You have stories that are, you could say, meant for children because they are so pure and nice and have these good feelings, but other ones are a little bit more, let's say,
Well, philosophical is the word you're looking
yeah.
for, but I would argue that even those who could be enjoyed by children have a secondary meaning. So if you're a child reading this book, you'll get, let's say, the face value, you'll follow the stories. But if you're an adult, and this was the case with The Lost Sunday as well, you are going to get that secondary meaning. And that secondary meaning exists in all the stories. This was, in fact, the reason why we decided to collect all of them. And this is the reason we are making the Kickstarter, because we are trying to give a complete experience. Let's say it's a comic experience. And I find it very touching and I find it very emotional each time I read all of the stories in whatever order I might choose to match my mood. So they're definitely not stories just for children.
I hope they, whoever you are, they will jumpstart the engine of your imagination, and you will dive into the images and really start making unusual connections and see the world through different eyes and experience it in a different way. Um, I think this kind of feeling will give you a lot of joy, and it will reconnect you with a deeper part of yourself that maybe was maybe not forgotten but put aside in day-to-day noise and hustle, let's say.
Uh,
It's
which brings us to the Kickstarter campaign, and I think what's the point with the Kickstarter and what's going on here? Basically, we want to print this book. It's clearly a recurrent idea that the books that we are bringing to life are both for the children's side and also for the adult side, depending on how you want to interpret the stories that Ilana makes. And we also kind of want to have a collection. So we want to print treasure thoughts and trinkets in the same luxurious format as the Lost Sunday has been printed.
I will share the screen in order to remind you how beautiful the format was and how shiny and with the gold cover and everything and all the colorful pages and the reward for the backers and every single wonderful thing in this book. We hope to replicate in some way in the other one.
So the reason we are going to do another Kickstarter campaign starting May 9th is because we want to print treasure thoughts and trinkets as well. And this book will be bigger than the Lost Sunday. It will have a lot more pages. And we want to preserve the quality, so it will be hardcover, it will be very beautifully colored. We spend a lot of time choosing the quality of the paper. We will have gold inlays for the title, so those kind of decorations and that kind of care for the book. And yeah, we really hope that, let me see if I can, yep, again, I'm sharing too much on my screen, but like this is the Kickstarter. We get super happy every time somebody chooses to be notified on about this project on launch. So please click that button. We love it every time you click that button. And yeah, so basically we are working quite a lot to make this happen right now. We're talking banners, we're talking texts of the campaign, we're talking trailers, we're talking all
Oh,
of
the
that.
chat is back.
Yeah, because
Oh, which chat?
Nah, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay, sorry. Like I have too many screens and way too many very steampunk looking controls that I'm trying to rein here. So I don't know what's going on. Like, let's hope that nobody I don't know. Like anyhow, but
Welcome backstage.
Treasure Thoughts and Trinkets will also be available on the Lost Sunday Comics. And as you know, Lost Sunday Comics is our magical comic book library. I'm gonna switch it to English just for convenience now. And basically, the big news here is that we launched the first update. So the Lost Sunday Comics was launched on Steam in early access on March 4th, right? And then immediately we launched another update where we fixed a few bugs and we made a version for Mac to work. And then we have this kind of big news, I think, for us, which is last week we announced that we became a kind pay merchant, which means that you can actually buy Lost Sunday Comics with kindness. And what this means is that if you go to the Pronoia website, you will see right on the homepage information about kind pay, which is essentially a sort of virtual coin that you can get if you log into the kind pay service and declare 3 acts of kindness that you have done. And then you can get this coin and you can redeem it. And one of the ways you can redeem it, Pronoia is not the only merchant who uses kind pay, but if you do choose Pronoia, you can get Lost Sunday Comics with kind pay, and they will send you a Steam key that you can redeem for the Steam application. Now the reason we've done this is because pronoia is the opposite of paranoia, and it's this belief that the universe and everything conspires for your good. And we publish Utopias, and we really want to live in a world where kindness is appreciated and rewarded, and there is also free and easy access to art, because ultimately the biggest reward that our books and products that we're launching can carry is to make somebody smile and to give somebody hope and to make somebody happy. So yeah, that's a news that we have done. And I don't want to jinx it, but fingers crossed that next week there will be an additional news, and that is that we are launching another update for Lost Sunday Comics, which carries achievements. There will be 10 achievements. Most of them will be hidden. Not even Maria and Ilana know what the achievements will be. But they are, of course, related to enjoying Lost Sunday Comics and reading it to the end and stuff like that.
And since we're so proud of this project, it's part of our next Kickstarter campaign, because the goal, of course, is to get as many books as possible into the Lost Sunday Comics library. So, of course, Treasure Thoughts and Trinkets will be available in the Lost Sunday Comics library as well. And it's going to be a bit easier to make it available in as many languages as possible, seeing how we have a lot less text than we did last time. So yeah, it's looking good.
So right now, of course, if you are considering checking out Lost Sunday Comics on Steam, it's extremely helpful for us that you leave us a review or a comment or anything really. This is maybe you know or maybe you don't, but Steam's algorithm works in such a way that it decides what games to display to their many users based on the interaction of the actual game. And another, like, the most important metric is reviews, of course, and another important metric is game time, but we can't really base ourselves on that because that's not the point of Lost Sunday Comics. The point is that you enjoy the Lost Sunday and the other books that we are going to publish in your own pace. And it's not the world's biggest book, so you can easily read it quite fast. And we have even had streamers that did an online reading on Twitch, which we strongly recommend that you follow and see what this is about. So yeah, this brings us to basically our world domination plan this year.
Yes, because we are mature, responsible adults and we plan ahead. We definitely do plan ahead.
Yes, we do plan ahead, and we try our best to keep up with our own plans, which is sometimes an adventure. It's always an adventure.
Ah, so if everything goes well by the end of the year, and by the end of the year I mean before autumn, we hope to have one more book printed, which is Treasure, Thoughts and Trinkets. So check out our Kickstarter campaign and please, please, please be there and support us and be with us. We will have a thicker library in the Lost Sunday Comics Steam application, as well as consistently more updates, because Lost Sunday Comics is in early access for about 1 year, and we hope to make it a lot more shiny, magical, inciting, and nice to enjoy the comic scene. And we will also have, at the very least, one English version of our board game Zestrea, and that will be a print and play version. Maria, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel fine. I'm just preparing everything so that because I prepared it for printing once, but that was for industrial printing. So what I'm doing now is a user-friendly version, which you can totally print on your home printer. So
okay, the deal with Zestrea goes like this. So we really, right now we are completely out of Zestrea in English, to the point of which me, who, like, I have been a part of the team of Zestrea, and I do not
you
have...
are the publisher.
I do not have a game. Like, I don't, because I used my...
we sold everything. And yeah, there's definitely a lack of English Zestrea in the world we are trying to fill.
And our original world domination plan was to do a reprint Kickstarter campaign, but we decided on a different plan instead. Also because the Kickstarter people do not allow you to run two Kickstarter campaigns almost simultaneously. And I wonder if there are many people who want to do that, or is it just me? But we want to gather the funds to reprint Zestrea in English in a different way, which is why in a couple of weeks we are going to launch Zestrea Print and Play to be purchasable via the Zestrea website. And those money will all go to like a treasure.
Yeah, it's a crowdfunding campaign or a pre-order campaign, depending on how you look at it. But you also get something straight away, which is the print and play.
Exactly. So those are our plans with Zestrea. Stay tuned, and we're trying to kind of let people... we're trying to do a little bit of a better job on social media to keep people informed.
We are juggling several things at a time, as you can see.
But this all brings us to the probably last news of the day. Like, fingers crossed again, this is not 100% set, but we do want to go back to Spiel this year. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's more than 50% set. So
definitely more.
We're just doing the fine tuning now, but the plan is to be there in October. So
Spiel will take place between October 6th and 9th in Essen. It is the biggest board game convention in Europe, so if you tag along, stay tuned on our channels and you'll know where to find us. Meanwhile, we put Ilana on a strict exercising schedule because she will need to draw very hard. Very hard. How do you feel about going back to Spiel, Ilana?
Well, last time we sold all the books we had with the Lost Sunday, so I really hope the Kickstarter for Treasure Thought and Trinkets will work out, and I really hope we'll have as many books to sell there, and I really hope it will go as well. And I'm very, very excited to draw on all of them if that's the case. I promise I will draw on all of them.
We're actually quite excited to. By the way, on Steam there is a fan, a person who actually reviewed and streamed on Twitch about Lost Sunday comics and everything,
and did some fan art.
Yeah, and then did a fan art. And I look forward to see the first person who comes up with the idea that maybe it's an interesting challenge to cosplay as Nina.
I want to see people cosplaying as the wolves.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
In October, yeah, it would be appropriate and quite comfortable, I guess.
I remember last time it was 9 degrees, so.
Well, you can just wear a hat and customize it.
Okay, those were the news that we have had for today.
Yes, these are the glorious plans, and we hope in the next weeks they will slowly start to come together, so we'll have more awesome news for everybody. And yeah, the plans go on.
The plans go on, and
on and on.
It could be that we might even be able to stream correctly and appropriately next time.
Well, come on, it's better than when I did the hosting and I didn't have my microphone was not working. So I think with all the blunders, we are still good.
I wouldn't talk about that, considering that we didn't check the recording just yet.
So yes, fingers crossed, and until next time.
Until next time.
Follow our Facebook page to see when next time is gonna be.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you so much for joining today. Bye.
Yeah.